They're calling him one of the brightest talents in Ligue 1. Okay, that's cute. But how good is Désiré Doué actually? Is he the real thing? Or are we all getting hypnotized by elastic ankles and a fresh haircut?
Duoe now moving infield, making an angle for a shot, gets it away and it's into the back of the net. Désiré Doué.
Before we start tossing around generational-like confetti, let's walk through it together. No jargon you can't explain to a friend. And yes, we'll have a few moments where defenders reconsider their life choices.
Duoe was almost unstoppable.
Duoe.
Yeah.
I played with him a little while ago at Rennes. He said this kid is a regen of Neymar.
He's 20. I know it feels made up. The path here started in Brittany, where Rennes took one look at a tiny kid and said, yeah, we'll break our own age rule for this one. He joined their academy at 5, and climbed the ladder at ridiculous speed. By 17, he's in Ligue 1, making adults look like they're running in mud. 2 quick milestones arrive like buses. First player born in 2005 to score in any of Europe's top 5 leagues. And then the youngest French scorer in European club competition weeks later. Not bad for someone who probably still had a curfew. 2 seasons of proving it in Rennes red, and the Sharks started circling. Bayern, Chelsea, everyone who owns a scouting department and a spreadsheet. Paris Saint-Germain cut to the front of the line and wrote the check. 50 million euros, 5-year deal. It wasn't a take a loan and pray prospect move, it was a play now, help us win now move. And then he actually did the winning now part. Not just a few highlight reels. He finished his first PSG season lifting the big-eared trophy after Paris smashed Inter 5-0 in Munich. 2 goals, 1 assist, man of the match, and a stack of youngest 2 records that will probably need a dedicated wing on Wikipedia. Somewhere between the second net rippling and the confetti, the label promise quickly turned into problem for defenders. Let's talk about football. The first thing you notice with Doué is the way he carries the ball. Not vibes, not circus tricks, he drives with purpose. Little touches that tilt a defender, half a step, and half a step is all a good attacker needs to tear a shape open. He doesn't spam stepovers to look busy, he changes tempo to make you wrong. If you overplay his right, he swivels left. Show him the line and he'll use it as a runaway. Invite him inside and he'll pick the pass you were trying not to think about. Defenders, they're not just beaten, they're edited out of the scene. Vision, it's there, and it's early.
I've heard he's good, but is he that good? He showed some glimpses that you go, actually, it's not a wild statement that this kid...
He scans before the ball gets to him, so the picture is loaded when he receives. From the right channel, he can sell 3 outcomes with the same body shape: low cut back to the penalty spot, early clip to the far post, or the flat through ball that makes centre-backs start a group chat. You know those sequences where a teenager sprints into 3 defenders because YOLO? He tends to do the opposite, wait half a beat for the lane to open, then pass like he invented geometry. He's versatile in a way that actually matters in modern systems. Need a right winger who can hold width, freeze the fullback, and then dart into the half space like a 10? Done. Need an attacking midfielder who can be the 3rd man in combinations, then arrive late into the box? Also done. In transition, he's vicious. 1 carry to bend the first line, 1 slip to release the runner, and suddenly the phase turns into a 5-second fire drill. He'll even hassle you without the ball, pressing with enough bite to turn your safe sideways pass into a hospital bill. You can build patterns around that. Of course, it's not perfect. He's 20, not 28. The week-to-week consistency has to keep climbing. You know the deal. Be a game changer on Saturday, then be a problem again on Wednesday, after 2 flights and a recovery session that felt like you were being stretched into a new species. The decision-making at full speed still gets greedy sometimes. An extra dribble into a double team, a shot from the wrong angle when the cutback is screaming. But that's the kind of refinement reps will sand down. Aerial duels? He's not winning many, and he probably won't turn into a target man, which is okay, because that's not the job. What matters is the boring stuff: better shot selection, tidier pass risk when the game state demands it, picking the second best idea if it's on time instead of the best idea half a second late. the great young ones learned that early. If you want the show me the receipts part, zoom in on the biggest stage we've got. In Munich, PSG didn't just win the Champions League, they detonated a 5-goal masterclass. Duoe had 2 of them and assisted another, becoming the first player in history with 3 goal involvements in a UCL final, and the youngest to score a brace in the showpiece. Just 19 years and 362 days old, man of the match, confetti stuck to his boots, and a few inter-defenders double-checking their studs for answers. It wasn't cameo, it was command. That's the sort of performance that changes the way teams plan for you next season. Context helps too. This isn't a one-club fairy tale. He was excellent at Rennes. Then he moved to PSG where expectations come with neon signs. The first season, domestic title, European title, and yes, a continental treble for Paris, which should not be a sentence that reads as casually as I just wrote it. If you felt a small earthquake in late May, it was probably coming from the Allianz Arena. Comparisons are inevitable, so let's get them out the way. Camavinga? Different profile but a shared superpower, press resistance. Dembele? You see the two-footed chaos when Duoe starts a diagonal dribble into the box. Neymar? The choose violence or patience slider bar feels familiar, though Duoe's version is less about show, more about incision. The important bit is that the numbers behind the noise, they've put him among the continent's elite under-20s. In the Golden Boy Football Benchmark Index 2025 update, Lamine Yamal still tops the model, even if he can't win again. Pau Kubasi sits second, and Duoe is right behind them. Top 3 in Europe's next up queue. That's not a fan poll, it's a performance-weighted index, and it noted Munich too. Now about the is he hype thing. Hype is a balloon. Real? That's a staircase. Duoe's already climbed a few steps that most players never even reach. Landmark goals as a teen in Ligue 1 and Europe. A big money move that didn't swallow him. A Champions League final that would have melted plenty of adults. And he didn't just survive the pressure, he shaped it. The pause before the pass, that's confidence rooted in repeatable actions. Receive on the half turn, fix the fullback, deliver the ball the defender can't defend. Repeat. When your game has that many on-demand actions, the stadium's volume becomes a setting, not a sentence. There are still chapters to write. He'll see more box and trap coverages, teams will start shading the 6 to his side, cutting off those diagonal lanes he loves. He'll get lumped more in the first 5 minutes, and he'll have to ride those hits without losing the glide. And the spotlight never dims at PSG. One quiet match becomes has he plateaued, quicker than you can say algorithm. The antidote? Boring good habits, recovery, film, the extra rep on cutback timing, choosing the safe pass in minute 88 because 1-0 is a better vibe than 1-1, and a month of discourse. The ceiling isn't a mystery, the maintenance plan is. If you're a coach, how do you even show him? Inside on that right foot so your keeper can live at the near post, or funnel him wide and pray your winger tracks the overlap like it's the final exam. Double early and give up the switch, or trust your fullback 1v1 and leave a bucket nearby for morale. Honest answer, you'll try all of it. He's developing signatures, those repeatable patterns the best attackers carry from game to game, and when a player's A actions travel, game plans get complicated. If you're a defender, do you nudge him before the ball arrives? He likes to scan, so maybe you mess with the picture. But if you go too tight, he'll spin you, and you're in the apology business. If you sit off, he gets to be picky, and nobody wants a picky playmaker. He's not unbeatable, no one is. But he's an exam you'll have to pass 15 times, miss one question, and it's a highlight. So, how good is Désiré Doué actually? Good enough that I don't have to bury the caveats to sell you the dream. The strengths, they're not abstract, they're attached to the wins. The weaknesses are fixable with time and repetition. He has the temperament to choose clarity when the world gets noisy. And we just watched him pick the biggest lock in club football, with thousands of flashbulbs going off. That feels less like hype and more like trajectory. Let's talk like normal people for a second. When you watch him, do you catch yourself doing the involuntary oof when he slaloms past someone? If you support a rival, are you already workshopping coping mechanisms? If you play FIFA, sorry, EA Sports FC, do you shamelessly overpay in career mode because you know what year 3 looks like? And if you're a PSG fan, are you quietly terrified of how many clubs will be calling in 2027? Here's where I land. He has all the tools to be a top-tier midfielder attacker. Call it an AM-RW hybrid who can run a game state, not just wreck a fullback. If he keeps stacking healthy seasons, keeps choosing the high-value, low-ego play, and adds strength without losing the first-step snap, we're not talking about a fun breakout anymore, we're talking about an era-defining piece. Is he there today? Not fully. Is he on schedule? Absolutely. And if you needed one night to prove the ceiling exists, Munich handed you 90 minutes and a medal. Alright, your turn. Be brave in the comments. Does he remind you more of Dembele's ambidextrous chaos or Neymar's freeze you then slice menace? If you had to pick one teammate profile for him long term, do you want a tractor engine overlap, run all day, hit the byline, or a silk ribbon underlap, ghost inside wall pass wizard? Over under on the first season, he hits 25 combined league GA. Are you taking the early line or making me wait until he discovers the perfect cutback diet? And let's be honest, when that second goal hit the corner in Munich, did you make a noise even if you were alone? Yeah, same. Last thing, because we love a good cliffhanger, who should I dive into next? Hendrik's Thunder, Gavi's Heartbeat, or someone you think I'm sleeping on entirely? Drop a name and drop a hot take, and if it's really spicy, bring milk.